The galaxy believed it understood war. For thousands of years, every species fought in its own way. Some used massive fleets. Some used living weapons. Some used fear itself. The demons were the most feared of all. They fed on terror. They grew stronger when others screamed. Entire star systems fell silent after demon invasions. The galaxy had learned one rule. When demons arrived, you ran. So when humans first entered galactic space, no one cared. Humans were small. Humans were weak. Humans had no claws, no psychic powers, no natural armor. The councils watched human ships and laughed. They will not last, the elder said. They will break, the demons said. Humans stayed quiet. They did not threaten. They did not boast. They only observed. Then the first demon raid happened. A border world was attacked. Millions lived there. The demons descended like shadows, tearing through the fences, spreading fear like fire. The planet sent a distress call to the galaxy. No one answered, except humans. The council was confused. Humans had no great fleets nearby, no legendary warriors, just one small task group, and inside that group, one unit. Humans did not call them heroes. They did not call them saviors. They called them special forces. The demons laughed when they sensed them. These humans were afraid. The demons could feel it. Their fear tasted sharp, familiar, easy, perfect prey. The demon commander ordered the attack to begin. Then something strange happened. The human ships did not rush in. They did not charge. They disappeared from sensors. Minutes passed. Then an entire demon outpost went dark. No explosion. No warning. No screams. Just silence. The demon commander felt something new crawl into his mind. Confusion. He sent scouts. None returned. The demons pushed forward anyway. They always did. Fear was their weapon. Fear was their strength. But the fear in the air was wrong. It was not the fear of prey. It was controlled, focused, cold. Inside ruined corridors, human figures moved through smoke and shadows. They did not shout. They did not hesitate. They struck quickly and vanished. Demons fell without understanding how. Weapons failed. Minds fractured. The demons tried to invade human thoughts. They found memories instead. War, loss, pain, endurance. The demons recoiled. These humans were not unafraid. They were familiar with fear. By the time the demon commander realized something was wrong, half his forces were gone, not destroyed, removed, cut apart, trapped, neutralized. The demons began to panic. That should not have been possible. Demons did not panic. A desperate signal was sent to Demon High Command. The message was short. Unknown human unit. Extreme threat. Fear ineffective. The response came back too late. The human special forces reached the command chamber. They did not roar. They did not celebrate. They ended the fight. When the battle was over, the planet was silent again. But this time it was alive. Human ships departed without speeches or symbols. No victory banners. No messages to the galaxy. They simply left. The galaxy noticed the silence. Scouts arrived days later. They found demon ships drifting, disabled. Strongholds breached from the inside. No signs of chaos. No signs of madness. Just efficiency. One alien observer spoke the thought everyone felt. What did the humans send? Data logs were recovered from demon systems. Most were corrupted. Some survived. One phrase repeated again and again in broken demon language. Do not let them return. The Galactic Council gathered an emergency session. Some members demanded answers. Some demanded defenses. Some laughed nervously and said it was a coincidence. The demons did not laugh. For the first time in their long history, demon fleets began to withdraw from human-controlled space. Quietly, without explanation, human diplomats were summoned. They spoke calmly. We responded to a distress call, the human representative said. That is all. The council demanded details. What weapons did you use? What power do you possess? What kind of soldiers were deployed? The human paused. Standard Special Forces Unit. he said. The council was silent. Demons listening through hidden channels felt something twist inside them. Special forces. That meant humans had more. Across the galaxy, rumors spread. Some exaggerated. Some were lies. Some were worse than the truth. They said humans trained their soldiers in fear. They said humans practiced war before birth. They said humans created monsters in human form. Humans denied all of it. That scared the galaxy even more. Because if this was normal for humans, what did they consider extreme? Far away, in demon space, survivors gathered in the dark. They spoke in whispers. They remembered human eyes behind helmets. They remembered the calm voices. They remembered the silence. One demon finally said what all of them feared. Those were not conquerors. Another finished the thought. They were cleaners. And for the first time in galactic history, demons began to prepare not for invasion, but for defense. Because somewhere in the void, humans still existed. And if they were forced to send their special forces again, the galaxy might not survive it. The galaxy did not believe the warnings. Silence, fear, and rumors spread after the human special forces mission. But fear alone was not proof. The galactic councils demanded logic, numbers, evidence. Demons had ruled through fear for thousands of years. They had crushed empires. They had broken minds. One lost battle meant nothing to them. Or so the galaxy believed. In secret council chambers, alien leaders argued. It was a trap, one said. Luck, said another. A single unit means nothing, said a third. The demons listened. And demons do not ignore insults. Demon High Command decided to make an example. If the galaxy doubted demon power, they would remind everyone. If humans believed themselves special, they would be corrected. A full demon invasion force was assembled. Millions of soldiers. War beasts bred only for terror. Mind breakers trained to shatter entire planets. Their target was not a border world this time. It was a human-aligned system. The message was clear. Humans would learn fear. When the demon fleet entered the system, space itself seemed to darken. Planets trembled. Civilian ships fled in panic. Distress calls flooded every channel. The Galactic Council watched in horror. They waited for humans to retreat. Humans did not. Human fleets pulled back, but not away. They cleared space. Then they sent a message. Short, calm, evacuate civilians. Military engagement authorized. The council was stunned. Authorized? Against demons? Demon commanders laughed. They unleashed terror waves. Psychic storms designed to break minds before battle even began. Entire alien fleets had surrendered under that pressure alone. But when the waves hit human ships, something unexpected happened. Nothing. Human ships did not scatter. Human crews did not scream. The demons felt resistance. Not shields. Discipline. Then human fleets moved aside. And once again, they arrived. Human special forces. This time, the demons were ready. They flooded the battlefield with fear. They twisted space with illusions. They attacked human minds directly. The special forces slowed. Not because they were breaking, because they were adjusting. Human soldiers advanced step by step. When fear hit them, they did not panic. They anchored themselves. They focused on breathing, on movement, on the mission. Demons pushed harder. Human heart rates rose. Human fear increased. And still they advanced. That confused the demons. Fear should weaken prey. But for humans, fear sharpened focus. The first demon war beast charged a human squad. It died in seconds. Not with brute force. With precision. Demons attacked from the shadows. Humans responded with traps. Demons use illusions. Humans use signals and coordination. Slowly, painfully, demons realized something terrible. Humans were learning them. Every attack pattern, every weakness, every habit. The special forces adapted faster than demon tactics could change. Demon commanders began to lose control. Fear started spreading among demon ranks. That was impossible. Fear was theirs. One demon officer sent a private message to command. They're not reacting like prey. The response came back cold. Increased pressure. They did. They unleashed everything. Psychic overloads. Nightmare projections. Reality distortions. Human soldiers screamed. Some fell. Demons fell hope. Then the humans stood back up, bleeding, shaken, still moving forward. One demon finally understood. These humans, they do not fight to feel strong, he said. They fight to end the threat. That made them dangerous. The special forces began striking command nodes, communication hubs, supply lines. Demon formations collapsed. Entire battalions vanished. Captured demon transmissions revealed panic. Where are the humans? They are everywhere. They're inside the walls. The demons tried to retreat. Humans did not chase blindly. They boxed them in. The galaxy watched the battle unfold in real time. For the first time, demon forces were not advancing. They were withdrawing. The council chamber fell silent. A senior council member whispered, "We sent demons against specialists trained for hell." By the end of the engagement, the system was secure. Human losses existed, but the demon fleet was shattered. Survivors fled into deep space. And something even more shocking happened. A demon envoy requested communication. That had never happened before. The message was raw, broken, fearful. "We request cessation of hostilities." The demon voice said, "We request mercy." The word echoed across the galaxy. Mercy. From demons. The council turned to the human representative. "What do you intend to do?" they asked. The human replied calmly, "We will evaluate the situation." The demons waited. Waiting was new for them. Across the galaxy, civilizations changed their military doctrines overnight. Defense plans were rewritten. Old alliances were questioned. One truth became impossible to ignore. The galaxy had made its greatest mistake. It assumed humans would fight like everyone else. Instead, they sent professionals. And professionals did not fight wars for glory. They ended them. Far away, demon survivors whispered warnings into the dark. Do not provoke humans. Do not corner them. Do not force them to send those units again. Because if humans ever stopped holding back, there would be no fear left in the galaxy. Only silence. No one in the galaxy understood humans. Not really. The Galactic Council had studied thousands of species. They had seen warriors, predators, conquerors, and destroyers. They believed they had seen every possible way a species could fight. Humans proved them wrong. At first, the Council believed human special forces were monsters created by war. They thought brutality had shaped them into tools of violence. But the truth was deeper, much deeper. The truth was not what humans did in battle. The truth was why they did it. A different origin. Most species in the galaxy evolved in stable worlds. Their planets were gentle. Their climates were predictable. Their enemies were clear and simple. When danger came, it was obvious. Humans did not have that luxury. Earth was violent long before humans ever fought wars. Storms destroyed cities. Earthquakes swallowed land. Diseases wiped out millions. Predators hunted humans when they were weak and slow. From the very beginning, humans learned one rule. Survival was never guaranteed. Other species evolved strength. Others evolved speed. Some evolved sharp minds. Humans evolved something else. They evolved adaptation. When strength failed, they used tools. When tools failed, they used strategy. When strategy failed, they used sacrifice. And when sacrifice failed, they endured. The psychology of endurance. The council psychologists were the first to notice it. Human soldiers were not fearless. That shocked everyone. They felt fear clearly and deeply. They felt pain. They felt doubt. They felt loss. But unlike other species, fear did not stop them. Fear sharpened them. When humans were afraid, they planned harder. When they were wounded, they adapted. When they were outnumbered, they changed the rules. One report described a human special forces unit trapped in a dead zone. No air support. No extraction. No chance of survival. The expected outcome was surrender. Humans did not surrender. Instead, they dismantled their own equipment. created new weapons from debris, and turned the environment into a trap. They did not fight harder. They fought smarter. Bonds stronger than logic. Another difference became clear. Human soldiers did not fight for orders alone. They fought for each other. The galaxy's militaries valued hierarchy. Command came first. Orders were absolute. Humans valued bonds. A human soldier would risk death to save a teammate. They would break formation to pull someone back. They would refuse retreat if one member was left behind. This behavior confused alien analysts. It was illogical. It reduced survival chances. It slowed operations. Yet somehow, it made humans deadlier. Because when a human special forces unit fought, it fought as one mind with many bodies. If one fell, the others became more dangerous. If one died, the mission became personal. And when a mission became personal to a human, mercy disappeared. Control brutality. The Council feared brutality. Humans mastered it, but not in the way demons did. Demons enjoyed pain. They sought chaos. They killed for dominance. Humans used brutality as a tool. Precise, focused, limited. They did not waste violence. They ended threats completely. A human special forces raid lasted minutes, but its effects lasted generations. Enemy leadership removed. Supply lines erased. Communication destroyed. No speeches. No warnings. No pride. Just silence. One demon commander survived a human operation. When questioned, his response terrified the Council. They did not hate us, he said. They did not enjoy it. They simply decided we could not exist anymore. The will to continue. Perhaps the most disturbing difference was this. Humans did not stop when broken. In battles where any other species would retreat, humans advanced. With injuries, with exhaustion, with hopeless odds. The Council reviewed footage of a human operator standing alone, bleeding, weapon damaged, surrounded by enemies. He should have collapsed. Instead, he moved forward. Not fast, not loud, relentless. When asked later why he did not retreat, the human answered simply, "There was still something I could do." That mindset stunned the galaxy. Humans did not ask if victory was possible. They asked only one question. Is the mission finished? If the answer was no, they kept going. Demons recognized it first. Ironically, it was demons who understood humans before anyone else. Demons recognized hunters. They knew the difference between rage and purpose. When demons faced humans, they did not feel challenged. They felt evaluated. Humans did not see demons as terrifying beings. They saw problems. And humans were very good at solving problems. Demons began to avoid human-controlled space. They altered routes. They abandoned strongholds. Not because humans were cruel, but because humans were inevitable. The Council's fear. By the end of Part 3, the Galactic Council no longer debated whether humans were dangerous. They debated whether humans could be stopped at all. Humans were not the strongest. They were not the fastest. They were not the most advanced. They were something far worse. They were persistent. They adapted faster than enemies learned. They bonded stronger than logic allowed. They endured beyond reason. And their special forces were the purest expression of that truth. The galaxy had assumed humans were just another species with weapons. Now they understood the mistake. Humans were a force shaped by suffering, sharpened by survival, and restrained only by their own choice. And that choice would not last forever. Understanding humans was one thing. Trusting them was another. The Galactic Council had learned why humans were dangerous. They had seen the reports, studied the battles, and listened to demon survivors. Fear had replaced doubt. But fear does not stop politics. And politics always leads to tests. Some council members believed humans were still a risk. Others believed human power had been exaggerated. A few believed humans needed to be controlled before they became a threat. So the galaxy made a choice. A terrible one. They decided to test humanity. The manufactured crisis. The test did not look like an attack. It looked like an accident. A neutral system, important, crowded, and strategically placed, suddenly collapsed into chaos. Defense grids failed. Navigation beacons went dark. Pirate fleets appeared from hidden jump points. But pirates were not the real danger. Something older moved in the shadows. A sealed demon cult, long thought extinct, had been allowed to survive. Quietly, secretly, the council believed they could observe how humans reacted. Would humans hesitate? Would they negotiate? Would they retreat? The system sent a distress signal. The council waited. Humans answered, a calm that frightened everyone. Human command did not shout. They did not threaten. They did not accuse. They asked one question: are civilians still present? The answer was yes. Human response was immediate. Evacuation ships launched. Human fleets formed a perimeter. Medical vessels followed close behind. Observers were confused. Where were the weapons? Where was the aggression? The council began to relax. Maybe humans were cautious. Maybe humans were predictable. Then the evacuation finished, and the tone changed. The switch. Human command issued a new order. Civilians clear. Special forces authorized. The words echoed through every channel. Some council members felt a sudden wave of dread. They remembered demon whispers. They remembered silence. Inside the system, the cult revealed itself. Demon entities emerged, feeding on chaos, on fear, on betrayal. They expected humans to panic, to react emotionally. Humans did not. Human special forces entered the system without announcement. No speeches, no warnings, no final offers. They went straight to work. Precision, not rage. The galaxy watched the operation live, not because humans allowed it, but because the council had placed observers everywhere. What they saw disturbed them deeply. Human special forces did not rush targets. They did not destroy randomly. They moved with terrifying patience. Cult leaders vanished first, then supply nodes, then communication hubs. Demon creatures tried to spread fear. Humans cut off escape routes. Demon illusions filled the battlefield. Humans ignored them. They followed plans measured down to seconds. One observer asked in a trembling voice, "Why are they not angry?" Another answered softly, "Because this is not personal to them." That realization chilled the room. Humans were not punishing the cult. They were removing it. When the test went too far, then something unexpected happened. A council line fleet moved into the system. Their orders were unclear, their presence unnecessary. They attempted to assert authority. They demanded humans stand down. Human command responded once. "This area is under active operation. Withdraw." The council fleet refused. They believed humans would not attack allies. They believed humans would compromise. They were wrong. Human special forces did not attack the fleet. They disabled it. Engines shut down. Weapons went dark. Command systems locked. No casualties, just total control. The message was clear. Humans would not be interfered with. Demons began to understand. As the operation continued, demon resistance collapsed faster than expected. Not because humans were stronger, but because humans anticipated every move. Demons tried to flee. Humans sealed exits. Demons tried to hide. Humans flushed them out. A captured demon spoke under interrogation. His voice shook. "They are not here to win," he said. "They are here to end us." The council realized too late what they had done. They had tested humanity, and humanity had responded not with anger, but with certainty. The line humans drew, when the system was secured, Human Command transmitted a final report. Objective complete. Threat neutralized. System stabilized. Then came something new. A message addressed to the Galactic Council. Calm, clear, unemotional. "We are aware the situation was engineered," the message said. "We will not respond with punishment." Some council members exhaled in relief. Then the message continued. "But understand this. Humans listed conditions. No hidden threats. No manufactured crises. No political games involving civilian lives. These actions will be considered hostile," the message said. "And next time, we will not limit our response." The transmission ended. A galaxy in shock. The council chamber was silent. No one argued. No one defended the decision. They had seen what humans could do when tested. Humans had not lost control. They had not overreacted. They had not escalated. They had simply drawn a line. And lines drawn by humans were not suggestions. They were boundaries. Across the galaxy, militaries revised plans again, not to fight humans, but to avoid ever forcing them to act. Demons retreated further into darkness. Cult activity vanished overnight. And for the first time in recorded history, the galaxy adjusted itself around one species. Not because humans demanded power, but because, when tested, they proved they already had it. The galaxy changed after the test. Not loudly, not all at once, but everywhere. Demon attacks slowed. Pirate raids stopped. Border wars froze in place. Even ancient rivalries paused as if the stars themselves were holding their breath. Because everyone was thinking the same thing. What if humans are forced to act again? Fear took a new shape. Fear had always belonged to demons. They used it as a weapon. They fed on it. They ruled through it. Now fear had a new owner. Demon scouts stopped entering human space. Demon fleets rerouted around human systems. Entire demon strongholds were abandoned without a fight. Demons did not understand retreat, but they understood survival. And survival meant avoiding humans. The first demon envoys. It began with whispers, then secret messages, then something unthinkable. A demon envoy requested formal contact. The Galactic Council panicked. Demons had never negotiated from weakness, never asked, never bowed. Now they did. The meeting was held in a neutral system. No weapons, no tricks, full observation. Human representatives arrived calmly. Demon envoys arrived shaking. Their leader spoke first. "We asked for restraint," the demon said. "We asked you to stop sending them." No threats, no arrogance, only fear. The council watched in disbelief. "Why?" a council member asked. The demon hesitated, then answered, "Because when your special forces arrive, there is no war. There's only an ending." The truth comes out. Under pressure, demons revealed something the galaxy had never known. They admitted fear had always been their strength, but fear had limits. Humans broke those limits. Demons fed on panic. Humans used fear as fuel. Demons attacked minds. Humans trained their minds to resist. Demons thrived on chaos. Humans created order inside chaos. One demon said quietly, "You are not immune to fear. You are adapted to it." That terrified them more than any weapon. Panic among the stars. The news leaked. It spread faster than light. Demons were afraid. The galaxy reacted instantly. Some species rushed to human space, seeking protection. Others formed defensive alliances centered around human presence. A few panicked and began secret weapons programs. But most did one thing. They stopped provoking humans. Old insults were forgotten. Border disputes were delayed. Aggressive expansion halted. The galaxy did not want to see what happened if humans decided they had enough. Humanity's response. Humans did not celebrate. They did not threaten. They did not exploit the fear. They simply stated policy. Human diplomats spoke plainly. "We do not seek domination," they said. "We respond to threats. Nothing more." Some council members asked the obvious question. What if demons break the ceasefire? The human answer was calm. Then we will end the problem. No emotion, no anger, just certainty. That scared the galaxy more than rage ever could. Alliances form in silence. Without announcements, alliances shifted. Human fleets became anchors of stability. Joint defense pacts were signed quietly. Training exchanges began. Not to copy human strength, but to learn human discipline. Many species failed. They could not endure fear the way humans did. They could not operate under pressure for long. They could not fight without emotional collapse. They learned the truth. Human special forces were not just trained. They were conditioned by history. Demons begged for limits. The demon envoys returned, this time with offers, territory withdrawal, non-aggression pacts. shared knowledge of dark space. All they asked was one condition: limit the use of your special forces. The council looked to the humans. Human command responded, "We already do." The demons froze. "Then what happens if you stop limiting them?" one asked. The human answer came without hesitation. Then there would be no reason for negotiations. The meaning was clear. Special forces were restraint, not escalation. The galaxy understands too late. That was when the galaxy finally understood. Humans were not holding back because they were weak. They were holding back because they were responsible. Their most brutal units were controlled. Their most dangerous soldiers were restrained. Their darkest capabilities were locked behind discipline. One council elder spoke to fear aloud. "If this is restraint, what does full commitment look like?" No one answered, because no one wanted to know. A new balance of power. The demons signed the ceasefire. For the first time in history, they withdrew from dozens of systems. They dismantled cult networks. They disappeared into the void. The galaxy breathed again, but the balance had changed. Fear no longer ruled. Control did, and humans controlled the most frightening force the galaxy had ever seen. Not demons, not gods, but disciplined humans who knew exactly how far to go and when to stop. Peace returned to the galaxy, not the loud kind filled with celebrations and victory songs. A quiet peace, a careful peace. Trade routes reopened. Borders stabilized. Old enemies spoke again, slowly and carefully. Demon fleets remained far from human space, watching from the dark. For the first time in many ages, the galaxy slept without screaming, and humans did nothing. That was what unsettled everyone most. The silence after the storm. Human special forces were withdrawn. Their ships returned to deep space bases. Their names vanished from reports. Their movements disappeared from sensors. Some believed humans were done. Others believed humans were waiting. The Galactic Council met often, reviewing human behavior again and again. Humans did not demand territory. They did not demand tribute. They did not demand obedience. They simply returned to their worlds. That confused the galaxy. Power was usually followed by ambition. Humans showed none. A question no one dared ask. Years passed. Children grew up in systems that had once been war zones. Demon stories became warnings instead of daily news. Entire generations never heard a real invasion alarm. And yet, one question remained unspoken. If humans were capable of ending the galaxy's greatest threat, why hadn't they taken control? The answer came slowly. A human explanation. During a quiet council session, a senior human envoy finally spoke openly. "Your mistake," he said, "is assuming power exists to be used." The chamber listened. Human special forces were not created to rule. The envoy continued. They were created because history taught us something. He paused. When monsters appear, someone must be willing to face them. The council realized something uncomfortable. Humans did not see demons as enemies to conquer. They saw them as disasters to contain. The purpose of darkness. Human history was studied more deeply. Not their wars, not their weapons, their restraint. Again and again, humans had gained power, then stepped back. They built weapons and locked them away. They trained soldiers and hoped never to deploy them. They planned for the worst, while praying it would never come. The galaxy finally understood. Human special forces were not humanity's pride. They were humanity's insurance. Demons speak the truth. Long after the ceasefire, a final demon message was intercepted. It was not sent to humans. It was sent to other demons. A warning. "We misunderstood them," the message said. "We believe cruelty made us strong." The signal paused, as if the sender struggled with the words. Humans taught us that discipline is stronger than fear. The message ended with a final line. They were not trying to destroy us. They were trying to stop us. That message was never broadcast publicly, but it spread, quietly, the final understanding. The galaxy reached its final realization slowly, painfully. Humans were not the strongest species. They were not the most advanced. They were not immortal or invincible. They were something else. They were responsible. They understood their own darkness and controlled it. Human special forces were not unleashed because humans wanted war. They were unleashed because humans knew exactly what war could become, and they refused to let it spread. A warning written in memory. New galactic laws were passed, not written in stone or code, written in understanding. Do not corner humanity. Do not manufacture crises. Do not force them to choose between mercy and survival, because if humans ever decided survival came first, the galaxy would not endure the solution. The last whisper, in the farthest edges of space, in places no light touched, demons still whispered stories to their young. Not of fire, not of pain, of humans. They spoke of silent soldiers who did not hate, of warriors who did not boast, of special forces who arrived only when all other hope was gone. And they ended every story the same way. If humans ever stopped holding back, there was no ending after that, because everyone already knew what it meant. End of the story. Humanity returned to silence. The galaxy returned to balance. And somewhere in the void, the truth remained unspoken but understood by all. The most terrifying thing about humans was not what they could do, but that they chose not to, ***.